What it do, YouTube? MJM for life here. Back again, finally bringing you another video. Lots been going on, but I won't bore you with my personal life. There's way more exciting things to talk about. Namely, the new ban list is out. Oh, by the way, this is a duel. My opponent is playing Black Wings. You'll probably recognize my opponent from other videos. This guy's really fun to duel with, and I know I'm going to get a good duel when I duel him, so usually when I do a video, I'll probably be against him. But anyway, I'm playing Lad Loop Chaos Dragons, and if you don't know what the Lad Loop is, don't worry, it'll come through in this video. It basically revolves around 3 cards: Lad, obviously, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and then Divine Dragon Apriclaff, however you pronounce it. But anyway, back to the ban list discussion. So the new ban list is out, and there's some surprises, some not surprises, and some what the fuck. First of all, a lot of the things, we aren't surprised by. The Baby Dragon, Spellbook of Judgment getting banned, but then some other things we really are surprised by. But I'm not really going to go into it card by card because a lot of other YouTubers have been doing that. I'm just going to basically give my thoughts about just the meta, how it's going to change. Also, apparently Black Wings are back. As you can see, my friend is playing Black Wings. I don't understand the hype surrounding Black Wings. Personally, I don't know what's so great about them. I guess I just missed out on that particular time in the game because I'm fairly new to the game. But apparently, people are really stoked for Black Wings coming back. Although, in my opinion, the deck is just not that good. But I won't kill your vibe. So I'll let you. Just live in the moment for now. Got Black Whirlwind at 3, Collude at 3, so maybe Black Wings will do something. So that's the great thing about that time right after the ban list is nobody knows really how the game's gonna change. Nobody has any idea what decks are gonna be popular. We might have some kind of educated guesses, decks like Constellars or Boojins. I mean, the reason why Macro, Defissure, and Soul Drain were all banned was just so that Boojins could, have a chance. The reason why Elemental Dragons were hit was, well, because they were broken, one, but also so that they could have a chance, so... Boojins is a deck that you're probably going to be seeing a lot. You're already starting to see it a lot on Duel Network. And the deck that I'm playing, Chaos Dragons, Chaos Dragons just fell off the map completely once Mermails and Fire Fists were released, as well as Dino Rabbits. Macro Rabbit's pretty much a dead deck now. Rescue Rabbit's also at 1. Those 2 decks, Macro Rabbit and Chaos Dragons, were the top 2 decks, 2 formats ago. Now they're nowhere to be seen. That's how quickly the game can change, and I'm surprised, why people are so excited about Black Wings, because that deck had its time. I don't really think it can come back fully, in my personal opinion. But anyway, there's the great thing about this meta is that there's so much opportunity for older decks though, like Black Wings, like a deck like X Sabers, for example, has much more of a chance this time around. Infernities is a deck that you're probably going to be seeing a lot of because they can still spam the field like crazy. That's a deck that can spam hard. When Infernities go ham, they go ham. I'm talking 5 monsters, 5 spell and traps. Come get me. Infernities, that's a deck. Be prepared to see Infernities. I'm trying to think of some other decks that are really going to prosper in this format. There's some new Elemental Dragon plant deck that's out. So E-Dragons aren't dead. You just have to play them a little bit differently. You won't be able to play a pure Dragon Ruler build anymore. You'll have to splash them in with other decks as well as combine some other cards with E-Dragons or Dragon Rulers. I've seen some builds with like Debris Dragon and Quackimero Drago. Dragon Rulers are still going to be a threat. They're still going to be a threat. They're just going to be threatening in a different way than they once were. Here, as I dropped the BLS and he dropped Max C, I really wanted to go ham, but this particular turn, but I just couldn't because I was under Max C. So I just took the time to banish the Black Wing Armor Master and then attack over Direwolf. So that's what's happening in Duel. But yeah, this format's going to be really interesting. I really am looking forward to it. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, this deck's going to be top, this deck's going to be hot, Evil Swarms are going to be good. But that's the great thing about this balance, is that Konami hit all the cards that you would normally play, like i.e. Compulse, Torrential, Solemn, Bottomless. All those cards are hit, so it kind of forces you to use other cards like a Black Horn of Heaven. You might see that card see some major play now, because it's basically like a Solemn Judgment, sort of, except it doesn't stop anything like Solemn did, almost anything at least. So you may see a Black Horn of Heaven, become super meta. Now that Heavy Storm's gone, the problem is you're going to see a lot of stall decks now. Exodia and Final Countdown and Empty Jar, that type of nonsense is probably going to make a comeback. And the one thing that I definitely was glad that it was gone, but now it's going to come back, is Dark Worlds. Dark Worlds is definitely going to come back. Be prepared to play against Dark Worlds. I think everybody hates Dark World except Dark World players. And it's crazy, man. Dark Worlds are going to make a comeback. But the funny thing is that I hope they, Dark World players, I hope they spam Dark Worlds hard, so Konami can finally get rid of what's that stupid crap? Drag Down. Oh my god, why is Drag Down still at 3? That card is incredibly broken in Dark Worlds, and there's just no room for it in the game. I think it needs to be gone. I don't know how it's survived this long. I mean, it's still at 3. Like, it just hasn't been hit at all, and that's insane to me. As I got an OTK here with Dark Arm, and the Chaos Dragons doing their typical thing. Yeah, I just don't understand how Drag Down went completely untouched all these formats. It's amazing to me, but I really hope Dark Worlds spam hard so they can finally just get Drag Down out of here. I mean, you're gonna ban Super Rejuvenation, but not Drag Down. I don't understand that, But whatever. I'm pretty sure next ban list it will definitely be on there. I would be very upset if it's not. But a card I'm really happy for, Gateway, is finally out of here. That card, I mean, if you've ever played against Six Samurais where they've opened Gateway, I mean, you might as well just scoop, because it's just more often than not, it's just over. I mean, there's not much you can do, especially when Shockmaster was around. They just went for first turn Shockmaster and come get me. It's just like, I'm just gonna scoop here. And that's nothing that was very surprising. Shockmaster was banned, and I can see why they did that, because first turn Shockmaster, game 2, when you knew what they were playing, like that was just purely devastating. Oh my goodness! That if anybody's been against first turn Shockmasters, you know how just completely devastating it is. So I mean, I can see why they would ban it. Heavy Storm is an interesting card. It's going to really force people to play other cards, like Triple Space Typhoon is probably going to be, a staple now, as well as, you might see more Night Beams thrown around. The other card people like to use is Malevolent Catastrophe, which is basically a Heavy Storm. It's like a more fair version of Heavy Storm, because the thing about Malevolent Catastrophe is you have to you have to attack. The opponent you have to be attacked, I'm sorry. So they have to attack you, and then you flip up Malevolent Catastrophe and blow up everything. And this is where I try to go for the Lad Loop. Let me just break off and go to the video for a second. I try to go for the Lad Loop here, but I actually forgot that I had already normal summoned, so that I kind of effed it up in that way, because I was supposed to, if I hadn't normal stuff, because you're supposed to tribute Red Eyes Darkness Metal and Divine Dragon for Lad. So basically what you do is, now I can actually explain the loop. So you go for Red Eyes Darkness Metal, use Red Eyes Darkness Metal's effect to go for Divine Dragon Epiclaph. And then use Epiclaph's effect to discard one card from your hand, and then add a Dragon type monster from your graveyard to your hand. But I already have Lad in my hand, so normally here is where I would tribute both of those for Lad. But I already normal summoned, so I messed it up there. But then basically, once Lad dies, obviously its effect is you can special summon one monster from your graveyard, and then obviously you would special summon the Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Then on your turn, Red Eyes Darkness Metal, get back Divine Dragon, discard a card, get back Lad, then sack those two for Lad, and then it's just a constant loop. So basically, the only thing that really hurts you is obviously Macro Defissure, which you don't have to worry about anymore. But a card that really hurts is like Deprison. You definitely do not want to get Deprisoned. Or obviously, if they have really big monsters and they're able to attack over your Red Eyes Darkness Metal, or somehow get rid of your Red Eyes Darkness Metal after it's revived with Lad, then the loop is obviously broken. But more times than not, that's just not going to happen. So it's really good loop because your opponent already has to use so many cards to get over Lad. They're not going to be able to get over Lad, then get over another 2800 attacker more times than not. They're just not going to be able to do all of that. And that's really, I think Lad is going to be a really great card in this format because it forces you to use so many cards just to get around it. And then if you have something like a Lad loop like I have in my Chaos Dragon deck, it's fine. He's just going to come right back. So now you have to use even more cards to get over it. So that's why I really think this particular build of Chaos Dragons actually has a chance, to be really good. Don't mean to toot my own horn or not anything, but anyway, though, that's pretty much the Lad loop. That's pretty much all this video is, just Chaos Dragons versus Black Wings. It's pretty self-explanatory, but where was I? Oh, I was talking about Malevolent Catastrophe. So with Malevolent Catastrophe, it's kind of like a new metagame within the metagame because now your opponents, since they know people are going to be playing, it's like, well, I'm not going to set all my cards before I attack because I know they're just going to get blown up. So you might have to play Malevolent Catastrophe very skillfully because you gotta get your opponent thinking, oh, he doesn't have it because he hasn't used it yet. So when they get comfortable enough to set 3 down, then you hit them with a Malevolent on their next attack. Then that's when it really is devastating. But I really feel like Malevolent Catastrophe is just much more fair than Heavy Storm, where it's just like, no big deal, drop a Heavy Storm and blow up everything. This format is just. It's really looking promising in my opinion, and I feel like a lot of people have that. Have that kind of feeling about this next format. There's so many opportunities for new decks, but then again, I'm hesitant to really go that route because Mermails barely got touched. Evil Swarms didn't get touched at all. Those decks are still going to be huge. A deck like Consto is definitely going to be huge this format. And then people are all like, oh, spellbooks are dead. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're just fair now. It's not, oh, during the end phase, let me add everything I need to win the game next turn now. And then let me special summon Jalgan and stun you. I mean, that's completely broken. Now they're just a fair deck. Now you actually have to think when you're playing spellbooks because you can't just be like, oh, it's no big deal. I'll just use my entire hand and get an entirely new hand next turn. Now you have to actually play the game. Oh boy, spellbooks actually have to play the game now. I mean, they still have Fate, which doesn't target. That has 3 amazing effects. They've still got, you can throw Priestess back in your deck. I don't know why people went away from Priestess anyway. It's just, in my opinion, it's too good not to play, even if it's just at 1. Put Priestess back in your deck, run the Fates, run, cards like Eternity and all those other spell cards. Play the game, the way you used to play before it got broken. Spellbooks are still going to be a top tier deck in my opinion. I don't really feel like they're dead just because Divine Judgment's gone. And here's where I actually go for the Lad loop successfully as he drops a Max C, but I really don't care. I'm only going to special summon once. Yeah, this is where I actually get the Lad loop because I haven't used my normal summon, so I do that and then I sack 2 for Lad because Lad was in my graveyard. I think I milled it, and now basically he has to use his entire hand. He's got to use Kaloot, which is going to get negated, and he only has 2 cards left in his hand, so it's not really looking good for him. Like, this is the situation where I was talking about where, like, you have 3 cards, you have to use at least 2 to get over Lad now. And then once you attack over Lad, Red Eyes is just going to come back, so you're not going to be able to get over both of them. You don't have that luxury. But yeah, I really feel like this format is going to be promising. I've probably said that numerous times, but I really feel like there is a chance. Now, there also is a chance that, Dragon Ruler spellbooks, they'll just be just as good. Just somebody will find a way to break the game. I mean, there's always a way. There's always a new wind-up loop no matter what cards get banned or switched around or limited to unlimited. There's always a way to loop with wind-ups. There's always loops that you can find because, players are good like that. There's so many cards. There's always a way. There's always a way. But I mean, that's just the way Yu-Gi-Oh's been built. I mean, it's been built around loops and, let me get my stuff out. And I mean, that's the way that it's going towards. It hasn't always been that way, but it's going towards, let me get all my stuff out, and so it's cool, you can't get anything. Ophion. I'm so surprised Ophion didn't get hit because it hurts so many other decks that are coming out, like that Blue Eye Structure deck. Ophion wrecks that. Higher takes are dead because of Ophion. But we're not gonna rant about Ophion not getting hit. But if Dragdown doesn't get hit, you will see me rant. Yeah, I think I really said all I need to say as far as, the ban list and all the things. Stratos, what was that about? I really don't understand Stratos. I mean, he does, allow for pluses, and with no more heavy storm, I mean, heroes would really be formidable. But still, I don't think he was ban worthy. But nah, whatever, such is life. But that's gonna do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'm out of here.